All right, let's journey to the heart of the Indian subcontinent, to a place where vast deserts meet these ancient, winding rivers. This is where a kingdom was born. And, this isn't just a story about a piece of land. It's really a story of survival, of incredible vision, and about a legacy that was literally carved right out of the sand. We're talking, of course, about the princely state of Bahawalpur.
When you think of a desert, what comes to mind? Probably vast, empty, silent spaces, right? Well, in Bahawalpur, it's completely different. The desert there, it's more like a giant library. Every single grain of sand seems to hold a piece of history. It's a place that really speaks, and today we're going to listen to what it has to say.
So the big question is, how on earth does a kingdom not just survive, but rise from one of the toughest landscapes you can imagine? To figure that out, we've got to go way back, all the way to the beginning, and really dig into the unique origins of this incredible state.
Okay, so here's where it all kicks off. The year is 1727. A man named Nawab Sadiq Muhammad Khan I, who was leading the Dodpotter clan, does something pretty bold. He establishes a brand new state right in the middle of the Cholistan Desert. But here's the thing that made this ruling family so special. It was their deep, really prestigious roots.
So these rulers had what's called the Abbasid heritage. What does that mean? Well, it means they could trace their family line directly back to the legendary Abbasid caliphs of Baghdad. And trust me, this was way more than just a cool fact for a history book. It was a massive source of legitimacy and prestige. It gave them an authority that really set them apart from all the other powers in the region.
But look, having a fancy family tree isn't enough to keep you safe, right? Bahawalpur was a smaller state, and it was completely surrounded by these big, aggressive neighbors. This meant they were facing a constant, looming challenge, and it was going to take a lot more than just muscle to survive.
Think of it this way. On one side, you've got the sword. We're talking about the massive military power of the Sikh Empire and the constant threat from Afghan invaders. But Bahawalpur? They decided to fight with wisdom instead. They just knew that their survival wasn't about winning every battle. It was about smarts, about being shrewd with their diplomacy.
And this led to an absolute masterstroke of diplomacy in 1833. The Nawab at the time, Muhammad Bahawal Khan III, he does something brilliant. He signs a treaty with the biggest rising power around, the British. And just like that, he secured his state's borders. This alliance basically gave Bahawalpur a shield, guaranteeing its protection and its freedom to govern itself. And while all its neighbors were getting tangled up in conflicts, Bahawalpur got to flourish.
So with its survival basically locked in, Bahawalpur didn't just, exist, it absolutely thrived. The state sailed into a golden age. It became this shining example of great governance and a real hub for culture, incredible architecture, and top-notch education.
I mean, seriously, Bahawalpur was running like a modern country in miniature. Think about it. They had their own currency, their own stamps, a proper court system, a solid government. They even had their own state army. It's no wonder it was seen as one of the best-run, most efficient princely states in all of British India.
And you could literally see this prosperity built into the city itself, in stone and mortar. I'm talking about jaw-dropping palaces like Noor Mahal and Darbar Mahal. These weren't just places for the rulers to live. Oh no. They were huge statements of power, of wealth, and of this amazing cultural fusion. They blended Italian styles with Islamic and local designs to create something totally new and beautiful.
But here's what's really impressive. The Nawabs didn't just build palaces. They were building minds. They were huge patrons of knowledge. They founded key institutions. We're talking about the Siddiq Ganj Library, Siddiq Egerton College, and the Siddiq Public School. This shows a real commitment to education, not just monuments. And that educational legacy, it's still going strong today.
Okay, let's jump forward to 1947. The British Raj is ending, and the whole subcontinent is at this massive crossroads. Every single princely state had to make a huge decision. Do we join India? Do we join Pakistan? Or do we try to go it alone and stay independent? For Bahawalpur, this choice wasn't just about their own future. It was going to have a major impact on a brand new nation.
And so on October 5th, 1947, just a few short weeks after Pakistan was created, Bahawalpur made its choice. It formally joined the new nation.
So why is this such a big deal? Why does it matter so much? Because Bahawalpur was the very first princely state to join Pakistan. Think about what that means. It was this massive vote of confidence in a country that was just finding its feet. It provided stability, much-needed resources, and expert administration right when Pakistan needed it the most. It was, without a doubt, a foundational moment.
But, and this is the interesting part,
This decision to join also marked the beginning of the end for Bahawalpur as its own separate state. So let's take a look at how its formal existence came to a close, and more importantly, how its incredible legacy lived on.
Believe it or not, just 8 years after that historic decision to join Pakistan, the state of Bahawalpur was formally dissolved. In 1955, it was merged into what was called the One Unit of West Pakistan. And just like that, the political state of Bahawalpur was gone.
But here's the key takeaway. You can erase borders on a map, but you can't erase an identity. All those incredible palaces, the colleges, the traditions of good governance, and the sheer cultural richness of Bahawalpur, all of that became a permanent and very proud part of Pakistan's national heritage.
And that really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? A history is kind of like a story that has a beginning, a middle, and an end. But a heritage is something different. It's what lives on in the people, in the buildings, and in the ideas that are left behind. As you can see in the Urdu text, it's not just Tariq, history, it's Virasat, heritage. The state of Bahawalpur might be a chapter in a history book, but its legacy, that's a living, breathing heritage that continues to this day.